Hey guys, I'm Courtney. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing all you ladies out there who don't want to spend an hour on your makeup in the morning how to do it in 15 minutes or less. We all know ain't nobody got time to be smacking on all that color on their eyelids, all them eyeshadows, and winging out that liner before you go to work in the morning. This girl gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I ain't doing all that. I know you're not either. So if you are in the same boat as me and you want to get that makeup done quickly but still look flawless, then keep on watching. So in the summertime, I don't like to wear too much makeup because I actually like the way my skin looks for once. So I don't wear liquid foundation most of the time. But I do go ahead and start with a primer. I'm going to use my favorite, the Nivea Men's Sensitive Post Shave Balm. And technically it's not a primer, but it works pretty much like one in that it keeps my makeup on all day long. So I'm just going to push that in and rub it around until it gets kind of like sticky or tacky. It's got a very potent cologne type smell, so if you don't like manly scents, this might not be something you would enjoy. Now, like I said, I don't wear foundation, but I do conceal. So for the summertime, I like this one the best. This is the Rainforest of the Sea concealer by Tarte. A little of this goes a long way, and you can always layer it up, which is good. It does dry quite quickly though, so I kind of do my eyes first and then I highlight the rest of my face. I also think with this particular concealer, it's better to use a dry sponge rather than a wet one. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight the rest of my face. I'm going to do down the nose, a little on the forehead, chin, Cupid's bow, and then I'm going to use this as my eyeshadow primer as well, just to save time, because like the title says, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm going to use my Laura Mercier powder. Now I have pretty dry skin, so now I'm going to take my damp blender. This is the Real Techniques orange ones. I like these better than Beauty Blender actually. And I'm going to take that damp Beauty Blender. I'm going to dip it directly into that Laura Mercier. This is the light translucent setting powder. And actually, this concealer does crease fast, which is kind of annoying, but I'm willing to look past it because it works well. So I'm just going to bake under those eyes. And then go ahead and highlight everything else with that powder. Like so. Easy. Now while that's baking, I'm going to do my bronzer. So for bronzer, my ride or die go to the Hoola. This is the regular one, not the light. Also, just put a little of this same powder on my nose to contour, just using the same bronzer color. I like the way it looks. Now, every once in a while, I do go ahead and throw on just a little bit of a contour shade. I'm going to use one of these. This is the Anastasia kit. These are my own colors that I put in it. You can get a kit already made, but these cooler colors look more like a shadow, which is what you're trying to convey with that contouring process. So you're going to also want to use a more exact brush. So this is what I use to bronze. This is what I'm going to use to contour. So I'm actually going to use this pinkier cool tone here. I'm just going to dip that brush straight in, tap off the excess, and going straight in from my ear, top of the ear, and down into that crevice there. I'm just going to start there. And I'm going to blend it upwards. Excuse the zit. I'm just going to wipe away the bake that is under my eyes and just kind of blend out where I put the Laura Mercier powder on the rest of my face. Alright, so next I'm going to actually go through and do my eyebrows, and I'm going to do that off camera, so you can check out the video later this week on my eyebrow routine if you want details on how I go about doing that. Alright, so I'm back. Eyebrows are on. I'm going to move on to eyes now. We want to do something as easy as possible. So I'm using one color only, and I'm actually going to use my Hoola bronzer. Yes, that's right, my Hoola bronzer. So using this Morphe M330, I'm just going to swirl my brush around that bronzer, tap off the excess, and this is just kind of going all over my crease, my transition. It's going everywhere, pretty much. Alright, so I'm going to start on that outer corner there, in that crease. Just kind of a windshield wiper / swirly. Just kind of getting that in there. Remember that you put down the most product the first place that you put down your brush. So if I pick up the product right now and I set my brush here, that's where the majority of the product is going to go. So if I want that, it's fine, but I like to start on the outer edge here and work my way in, because when you have a little bit smaller of eyes like I do, you kind of want to pull them out a bit, pull them out and up, so they don't look as small as they actually are. And that's it for the eyes, pretty much anyway. I know, shocking. Now I'm just going to take this pencil brush by Morphe. This is the M168. Really tiny little pencil brush. Same thing, dipping into that bronzer, and now I'm just going to, starting on the outer edge of that lower lash line where I want the majority of the pigment, I'm going to just, along that lower lash. Okay, so I'm actually going to move back to my face now. I've already bronzed and I've done my concealer, so I just need to do my blush and my highlight now. This is my favorite blush of all time. It is the Milani Baked Blush. I can't even tell. This is so old. I don't even know what it's called anymore. Baked Powder Blush. And this is the color Luminoso. It's gorgeous on everybody. It's not real expensive. It's from the drugstore. Alright, this is a Morphe M142. It's kind of a big fluffy blush brush. I like to be real generous with blush, so I like these big brushes for it. Next is highlight. This is the highlight that I use every single day because, one, I think it lasts the longest, and two, because it's not too in your face, plus it makes you look wet. Like, that's my favorite type of highlighter. When I look like I was just sweating, which sounds gross, but that's the look that I really like, you know? Like, you're just glistening slightly right here, just on your nose, and a little tiny bit on your chin. Like, you only sweat, glisten in those areas. That's what this looks like. So if you like that kind of look, this is the Becca Opal highlight. This is my little travel version of it. This one is awesome. Actually, all the Becca highlighters I feel like have that same effect to them. They're not sparkly, although I do love a good sparkly highlight every once in a while. So, but this one, great for that wet look. This is the Morphe Y14. This is the best highlight brush for this particular highlight, in my opinion. So I'm going to put this on the tops of my cheekbones, and then a little bit on my forehead, nose, cupid, chin. So I'm actually going to use the Ofra Rodeo Dry highlighter, and these are so pigmented, it's crazy. Like, I have to be careful or else I look like Rudolph. I'm kind of starting to look like Rudolph right now. Hold on. Fix it. And I'm going to pick just a little tiny bit up on just a little flat shader brush just right on the tip of it. And this is going to go in the arch of my eyebrows here. Just a tiny tap. I mean, like, look at that. It's crazy. It's just so bright. It barely touched the pan. Same thing on this inner corner. Make sure when you highlight your inner corner, you are not going too low. If you go low down into like almost where you have those bags under your eyes, it's going to highlight some areas of your eye that you don't really want people looking at as much. Accentuates those lines and things. I have small eyes, like I said before, so I actually don't go in with a dark liner. I just use a nude liner. This is the Rimmel Scandaleyes Nude Liner, and I'm just going to go in that waterline with this line. That just really makes me look more awake. So I'm going to go ahead and curl these lashes and put on some mascara off camera, and I will be right back. Alright, so I'm back. Mascara seriously makes all the difference. If you're wondering what type of mascara I'm currently hooked on, I am using the CoverGirl Total Tease on my bottom lashes and the Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal on my top lashes. This one is really good for lengthening and separating, which I really like, especially to get those really little lashes on the bottom. And then the Lash Paradise really just is like va va voom. It's a great dupe for the Better Than Sex mascara too, if you're looking for something like that. Now, since I use pretty much all powders, it's really important that you set your makeup. I'm going to use everybody's favorite Eyeliner by Urban Decay, and this is just going to set all the powder down on my face so it doesn't look like I'm wearing a ton of makeup and powder on top of powder. And I also like to use a sponge to just pat that down. That helps keep it from sticking just to those little hairs on your face. Alright, and then last we are going to put on just a little bit of lip product. I'm going to use an oldie but goodie for me. And this is something that I actually do use every single day. And it's one of my favorite lip glosses ever. It's by the brand NYX. It's called, this is their Butter Gloss, and it is in the shade Madeline. And you can put a little nude lip liner on if you want first, but I'm just going to throw it on because that's what I typically do, especially during the summertime. It's just a nude color, and like I said, you can put liner on if you want, or just throw it on there. Get a little something something on them crusty crust. Mine really are crusty right now. I think I'm dehydrated. Fun fact, your lips get really dry when you're dehydrated. So if you have chronically dry lips like me, probably because you ain't drinking enough water. So, I know that's why mine are. Plus they probably got a little too much sun this week, but whatever. Oh yeah. Now, granted, this took me a lot longer to do today than it typically does, but on a daily basis, this routine takes me 15 minutes, maybe 20 if I'm really being precise like I was today. But this is something that you can wear all the time, whether it's the summer or the winter. You can change up the lip, do a little bit more on the eyes if you want, change that cheek color slightly, and you've got a whole new look. So this is something for anybody out there. If you're just trying to whip on some makeup, accentuate those features that you really like best, then this is something that you can do on a daily basis. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.